if you look at the title of the conference here, first thing we want to talk about is the bond market development in Asia. And I think the key development is, the short answer is that, it has been going great. I think all the speakers have already mentioned that we have seen tremendous growth, especially in the local currency bond market. I see most of the audience here are quite young, but back in the 90s, most of the borrowings in the bonds, if the sovereign borrowings, have to be in foreign currency, normally US dollar. Nobody would want to buy a local currency bond. Times have changed indeed. Nowadays, a lot of investors are actually preferring to hold local currency bonds, especially for the markets in the ASEAN, where they have seen the growth prospects to be much stronger. And not only are the growth prospects much stronger, they have also seen that the government fiscal conditions, the financial institutions here are also on a much stronger footing than what they have seen in the US or in Europe. So, on a very positive note, we can say that the ASEAN bond market has grown strongly, and I think if you look at the deck in 2001, the total outstanding is about 1 trillion. Today, we have around 6.5 trillion. So most of this has been due to the much better economic performance of the region. At the same time, we have also seen that the countries in Asia have learned well the lessons from the previous crisis in 97, 98. They have learned to manage the economy much more prudently. They have learned to reform the financial system so that it's much more stable. And both of these have sort of led the region to recover much faster than the advanced economies after the global financial crisis in 2008, 2009. Okay, so now we are talking about double track growth, where countries in Asia are all recording much higher growth than what we have in the US. And earlier in the afternoon, we heard, the prospects in the advanced economies continue to be bleak, while the situation here in the region is much better, although albeit a bit weaker than what we had before the Asian financial crisis. So in terms of development, things has been going well. However, in terms of integration, progress has been a little bit more limited, as has been highlighted earlier by Dr. Uy and also Assistant Governor Pai Boon. So what are some of the reasons for this? If you look at in terms of intra-regional bond holdings, the share of intra-regional bond holdings are around 10%. This number has risen, but it has still remained quite low. I think part of the reason is that the supply of savings in the region is far, far bigger than the assets available. So as a result, we have the phenomena that most of the region savings has to be invested in developed markets. So this is the phenomena of recycling into recycling of funds through the major financial centers like London and New York. So a key thing that we would like to see is to, Asian Development Bank, together with the region's government, has been working very hard to promote the greater integration of the region's financial market so as to enable all these funds to be channeled for productive use in the region rather than be recycled through these foreign markets. So one of the key initiatives that we have been doing to try to achieve this is through the ASEAN Plus 3 Bond Market Initiative, which is where all the governments of the ASEAN, together with China, Japan, and Korea, got together and tried to develop the local currency bond market. This started quite soon after the Asian financial crisis, because way back in 97, 98, the main concern at the region at that time was the double mismatch. So at that time, when you have to borrow, you tend to borrow in foreign currency and for short maturity. So this makes the borrowing much more risky. So the idea is by promoting the development of local currency bond market in the region, we can reduce this two double mismatch. We can borrow in local currency and we can borrow for longer maturity. And we have seen some benefits from those initiatives. At the same time, we also more recently have the ASEAN Plus 3 Bond Market Forum, which aims to sort of reduce the red tapes and the difficulties of investors to invest in other regions' bonds. So these are sort of the key initiative, Asian Development Bank, and together with, of course, the governments in the region have been trying to promote greater integration and greater, how should we say, use of the savings in the region. Just to also say that one of the, how should we say, outputs from the ASEAN Plus 3 Bond Market Initiative is the Asian Bonds Online website. So this is a website that has been created to provide information about bond market in the region. So I have left some flyers about this website, and if you are not familiar with it, I strongly encourage you to visit it. We recently released our Asia Bond Monitor just about 2 weeks ago in Manila, and we have the latest development, and I encourage you to have a look and download the publication on the website if you are interested. The interesting thing, of course, in the publication, we were also discussing the issue of managing capital flows. So another thing that is of a great interest in the region. Good. I think that's basically what I would like to share for the moment. But I would like to encourage you to ask questions later if you have anything that you would like to hear me discuss about. Thank you very much.